Hello, this is Jeff Stivers with Cat Sports Broadcasting. This week, we have one of the greatest rivalries in South Texas. Lytle visits Natalia High School. Our first stop is Lytle High School. Welcome. All right, we're here at Lytle High School, home of the Pirates, with Coach Mike Trevino. Coach, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Born and raised in the Rio Grande Valley. Graduated from Raymondville High School in 2010, and then really started to understand and pursue what it is that I was called to do. And even when we're not equipped to do something, God calls in the equipped. And, been through many battles throughout my life, obstacles, challenges, adversity, mountains that couldn't be moved, that have been moved, and mountains that are still there that we're still trying to move. Been through 4 major surgeries throughout my life. The year of I want to say 2008, I was a sophomore in high school where my family and I experienced some trials and tribulations. Our house had burned down. We lived in a hotel for 2.5 months, and my mom was diagnosed with cancer. And so that was a battle, and we were battle tested early, ever since the day I was born. And that kind of just instilled, just grit and toughness and, really understanding what faith truly meant. And that kind of leads me into my next transition of implementing that here with our kids. Just because our motto this year is fear follows, faith leads. And all that means is belief, trust, and confidence. And it's something I think we've installed and instilled in our hearts, every single day. And we're not afraid to talk about those things. And love and leadership are 2 huge core pillars of our program. And I remind these guys every single day of that. My previous coaching experience has kind of built me to understand truly what this leadership position is all about. As a head football coach at the age of 33, I feel like I understood how to create a blueprint of how to lead a program and how to lead these boys every single day. So prior to that, I did start my career here in Lytle. From 2017 to 2020, I was a head softball coach and assistant football coach at the time. COVID hit, ended up transitioning out, spent 3 years in Northside. I was assistant football coach at San Antonio Taft for 2 years, had a strong 2 years there with Coach Ricky Stade, and then ended up transitioning now to a coordinator position on the defensive side with Pete Padilla at Holmes High School. Being in a place like Holmes, it's tough, it's challenging, but at the same time, I think it allows you to understand truly from within how to focus on things off the field. Being able to run a program, being able to install things that people don't see. A lot of behind the scenes work is what that helped me establish something that I wanted to create here. And so very truly blessed for those opportunities that were given to me in Northside. And then here we hit the ground running. I got hired May 15th, 2022 or 2023, I believe. So it was already late. But I knew exactly what I wanted to do. And along the way, we've made mistakes. And just like I tell these kids, man, mistakes are bruises, not tattoos. And so that's been my mission. And we're just getting started. We're not even close to being done. And just like I tell everybody, the best is still yet to come.
Okay, Coach. Last year you had a 5-5 record, looking pretty good going into district, and then ran into a few roadblocks. And a lot of times there's different things that happen because of that. But traditionally, you schedule a tough non-district schedule. Tell us why you do that and what you're hoping that it prepares you for.
Yeah, so last year, obviously, we opened up with Llano, and understanding this year that we're opening up with Llano once again. And then our non-district schedule is consisted of, 4A teams also, including Bandera, Carrizo Springs, and Pearsall. But just like my message was, this past week, and it was last year, we talk about being damaged but not destroyed. Right, and then we talk about it's not a punishment, it's a preparation. So that's the reason why, because we don't run away from tough. We have to run to it. And if we can demonstrate that every single day within our core values, within our practice preparation, within talking to these kids, and then allowing them to see us struggle. We say a prayer every single day. And one of the main phrases in that prayer is strong in struggle and united in everything. And so when we're able to experience that early, we really truly understand what that means to prepare for later, not being punished. So really, I love obstacles. I love opportunities. I love opposition, just because it really understands, what truly love and leadership means. Because it's not about pushing people away; it's about pulling people in and allowing them to be a part of this journey with us. Because we can't go 10-0. If we did, everything else would be easy. So I love starting off the season 0-1. I love starting off the season versus a number 8 ranked team in the state that is going to prepare us for what's to come.
All right, Coach. This week, you guys will travel to Natalia to take on the Mustangs. Rivalry game. And as all rivalry games, the kids in both communities talk a lot. They get all hyped up. How do you look at this rivalry game and this atmosphere? How do you keep your kids focused on the task at hand?
Well, number one, I think it goes with our message this week. It's not about them, it's about us. And it always will be about us. And that's the one thing I shared with them yesterday. Just because if we focus on everybody else, we lose who we truly are and what we can become. Yes, game planning is important. Yes, watching film is important. But if we just focus on us and establish everything that we've been leaning on the last 2 years, I believe we will have success on Friday. Rivalry game is a rivalry game. We love it. We love the hype. We love the swagger behind it, because I love watching our kids ball out. But at the end of the day, it's about bringing both communities together. Friday Night Lights, that's exactly what it's about. Small town feel, community driven experience. It's nothing like it. And I experienced that early on when I was in high school, with our rivalry game being 5 miles apart. So I know exactly what this feels like for them. But just goes back to our preparation. It will always be about us and not about anybody else. And I think if we continue to focus that, and allow people to see truly that we have to focus on within, now what's outside, we're going to hear all the noise. We're going to see all the papers. We're going to read all the articles. We're going to see all the videos posted. That's okay. But it's about managing that and measuring it with what we're doing here and not anywhere else. And so it will always be about us, not about them.
All right, Coach. This is the Legacy Bowl. The Legacy Bowl does have a scholarship thing drive that goes on and shares, and it kind of brings both communities together. Tell us your thoughts on what the communities do as far as the Legacy Bowl is concerned.
And first of all, I think it just provides opportunity. It provides opportunity for both schools that have upcoming graduating seniors to be able to, move on and enjoy the rest of their journey, whatever that is, that looks like past high school. And so when you're able to contribute, right, we don't complain, we contribute. And so when both communities are able to do that, to provide opportunities for our kids, whether they're from Natalia or from Lytle, I think that's what this Legacy Bowl is all about. Yes, it's a Friday night football game, but more so, Eric Smith has done a phenomenal job promoting this on social media with both communities. That's why I say this is a community-driven event. It's not just Friday night football. It's not just high school football. But I think using that as a platform is extremely important to promote things like this. So I'm excited about it. I know our kids are, just because, again, of the opportunity that's there. And I always tell them, knock, knock, who's there? Opportunity. Just because we don't know when it's coming, but we're prepared to receive it when it does come. And so I'm very proud of both communities being able to contribute, to this foundation. And I know, and give props to Eric Smith, who's done a phenomenal job leading that from the front.
All right, we're here with our first Lytle Pirate. Go ahead, sir, and introduce yourself.
My name is Toby Davila, quarterback DB here at Lytle High School, class of 2026, senior, wearing number 6.
All right, we're here with our first Lytle Pirate. All right, Toby. I see here that you're the quarterback and a senior and a captain. Tell us a little bit about your leadership style on the field and off the field.
For me, I'm not a very vocal leader. I like to show it. I like to show my energy, honestly. During the game, it's kind of tough, especially going back to last week, going down, losing like that. It's just about staying positive, getting ready for the next rep. Don't want to let your guys get too low or too high, because if you are, then you're arrogant, complacent. Just staying chill the whole time, being ready for the next play.
All right, Toby, y'all had a tough loss last week, but tell us a little bit about how you will bounce back and how this week in practice and in school you're going to help lead your team against another tough opponent.
Yeah, going back to last week, tough loss. You never want to start a season like that, but some that happens. You can't be down on that because it might happen again. And what are you gonna do? We've been through it. Going into this week, just Natalia rivalry, ready to play. Every game's different. You never know the outcome, but you just go out there and try your best, play as hard as you can, and hope for a win.
All right, we're here with another Lytle Pirate. Introduce yourself to us.
I'm Chase Gavada. I'm number 2. I play wide receiver and DB, and I'm class of 2026.
All right, Chase. See here that you're a captain.
So,
Tell us a little bit about your leadership style on the field and off the field. Even if it's in a classroom, how do you keep your teammates as a captain focused on the week ahead?
man, just being a leader is really big to me. I rather pick that over than my skills right now because every time I see each other in the hallway, I either dab them up or like high five them because here we go over handshake, handshake, hug, and have high five. So like that's just a really big thing because you never know when somebody's going through anything. So like you just gotta always love them no matter what. And leadership, man, is just like so big because it just carries a team and like carries the energy into the game that we're going into.
All right. So, Coach said that y'all's motto this year is fear follows, faith leads. Tell us a little bit in your words what that means to you and how it resonates with you.
It just means a lot to me. Honestly, we just gotta have faith in each other. It's not about religion, no, not about that, not at all. But it's just about having faith in each other and trusting each other to a full standard. Like you could trust somebody here and there, but man, whenever we're on the field, you gotta trust them all because we are gonna make mistakes, but you gotta make them the right mistakes, and you gotta learn from them. So that's basically what faith, what's it called, follows. You know, it's just not about fear because we will never fear anything. The only thing we could fear is God, and that's straight from the Bible. And we just lead on each other a lot. Like we just have faith in each other. We just trust in each other and know that whenever we're gonna get done, we're gonna get done.
Perfect. All right. We're here with another Lytle Pirate football player. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
My name is Weston Jackson. I am a quarterback, wide receiver, DB, and I will be wearing the number 3.
All right, Weston. Tell us a little bit about your leadership style.
Uh, there's a couple of ways I do it, man. I'm not really a vocal person. I kind of lean on some of our seniors. Played with them for 3 years already. It's just I kind of lean on them, and they give me, some ideas. See a player down, you got to go pick them up, jogging, walking, anything. I just like, you don't have to yell at them, scream at them. Just give them, a little word of encouragement. You see somebody going through something, looks down, you just got to go talk to them and stuff like that. And yeah, and I love this role. Honestly, it means a lot to me. You know, it just tells me that my players believe in me and what I do, and they can come looking for me, if they need anything.
Good. All right, Weston. So Coach said you're an All-American. That's kind of what he calls all the captains here.
Yes,
You're one of
sir.
the All-Americans here at Lytle. Tell us a little bit. I understand you have a little history with Natalia. Tell us a little bit about your history with Natalia and what you're looking forward to in this week's game.
Yeah, I go a long ways back with those players over there. I used to grow up with most of those kids. We'd play football in my backyard, and now over here for playing with Lytle, I'm looking forward to see those kids over there. Man, I grew up with them, my friends, but obviously, when it's game time, it's game time. So you got to flip a switch, and they ain't my friends on the field, and then after the game, we can go. Yeah, I can go say a word with them, but during the game, we got to play our game.
Okay.